Yes. If everyone is in. Yep. We can go. Sorry, guys. GG, good luck. Thank you. And have fun, everyone. Alright. A nice lobby. That is very well filled up. Lots of streams to watch. Lots of different observing to enjoy. It is time for the grand finals of the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts 25th StarCraft anniversary. MaxPax versus Serral. I know the screen is black. That will be changed in 2 seconds. 1 second. Somebody is loading. Very slow. Potato PC. But it's okay. We'll get there, guys. Hello? There we go. It's a best of 7 with a 1-0 lead for Serral because Serral won the upper bracket. This tournament has special rules. It's already a meme among the pro gamers. Hashtag Roddy rules. It is the lower seed picks the first map, and after that it is loser pick. Hashtag Roddy rules, guys. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Round 2. Fight!
In the top left side of Dragon Skills, we are looking at the main base of the champion of the Pigsty tournament and the man who's just been dominating lately. In the eyes of many, he is actually the best Protoss player in the world. But that is a controversial topic, because some people cannot accept that because he hasn't played offline yet. But when it comes to online StarCraft, he is the finest Protoss out there. The Danish prince representing Storm Gaming. It's MaxPax. In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who has only dropped 1 map throughout this entire tournament so far. He is the great Night King, the great Jonas Utala, representing Basilisk. It is Serral. We already saw him earlier getting a clean 2-0 on the board in the WTL. But obviously his opponent here is of a different caliber. This is a big match, guys. I'm honestly very excited for it. In the past, we saw MaxPax get a few victories over Serral. But obviously, it always still felt that Serral was the better player, the superior player, and definitely the favorite when these two duke it out. Right now, I don't know. MaxPax has been playing incredibly good StarCraft lately. I've also heard that his PvZ got very scary. It's a matchup that maybe held him back a little bit in the past, but I think he got very good at it. Serral, in the lead-up to Katowice, did say a couple of times that he is not as confident in ZVP as other people seem to think that he should be, or he is. It's pretty close, I think. Obviously, I'm leaning towards Serral because it is Serral, but I honestly think it's close. MaxPax is just a freaking animal at the moment. Is he really the prince? That is confirmed, mate. He truly is the prince. The crown prince of Denmark. And he just happens to be very good at StarCraft. MaxPax, yeah, I definitely, he has beaten him on the ladder. He's beaten him in tournaments. Like, MaxPax has been able to get the best of Serral a few times. Serral definitely has a favorable record historically. But it's been a little while that they've played a big, important best of 7 against one another. Obviously, $700 for the winner. I believe $400 for second place. But somebody that has Wikipedia open can double check that for me. Still, I guess, potential for game of the day, game of the tournament, even though it's a different day. We have not rewarded that $50 cash prize yet. But for now, let's just lean back and enjoy the ride together and watch some very high-level ZVP. With the special hashtag Roddy rules. And somebody asked, why is MaxPax the lowest seed? Well, Wardi did the seeding for the tournament. Obviously, I had something to say about it, but okay, first blood.
First blood.
That is already a pretty solid start. Can he get the double kill? No, he cannot get the double kill, but this is a great first adept. It does fall. It does fall, but I'm honestly, guys, I would be okay with this if I'm MaxPax. I killed the drone, you get a scout, and 3 drones were forced to morph into a spore crawler, which means obviously a decent amount of lost mining time and a couple of minerals down the drain. I think that's a reasonable first adept. Yeah, obviously only one player could be Seed 1, and we decided to give Seed 1 to Serral in this tournament. Serral was molding a little bit yesterday in the chat. He said, Roddy, who came up with these rules? I said, that was me. He's like, I'm not a fan. Obviously, it does not favor him, because he basically never gets first map pick. But I mean, that's just a way to make it fair, I would say. I mean, you are literally the most successful StarCraft 2 player in the history of the video game. I think you can deal with your opponents having first map choice. I also like both players a lot. Of course, it would be nice for Serral to win a Basilisk tournament, but I think at this point, that doesn't really matter. This tournament was for the community, by the community, as in the Basilisk community. And I think we all just hope for a great grand finals. A couple of close games, high-level StarCraft. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on an Oracle. MaxPax in the end is trying to settle for a Queen, but very sexy Queen micro so far by Serral. Good job on the drones there too. I do believe a single drone went down. So we now have lost 2 drones. A couple of adepts shading into the third base while that was happening. Good target fire by MaxPax. Gets 3 additional workers. 4 drones. 5 in total throughout this game. Most important thing obviously for MaxPax is not to lose any oracles. As Serral is playing with the +1 melee. There is no shield battery in the natural. That is definitely something worth mentioning. Stalkers could be in a bit of a pickle there. But Serral once more. Serral got a lot of success against the Chinese Protoss. And he's going to get through. That is definitely a mistake on the side of MaxPax. Now, if he doesn't lose too many probes, it's maybe not the end of the world. If you lose 4 or 5 workers here, it does get rather ugly quite quickly. Probe number 2 will fall. Number 3 falls as well. And that is going to be it for now. As the Oracles, one of the Oracles getting picked off at the bottom side of the map. So, very strong 45 seconds there, I think, for Serral. MaxPax, a little bit slow, keeping those links out. And even if he didn't end up losing a crazy amount of workers, it just creates chaos. And whenever there is chaos, there is a chance you get a bit more sloppy on the other side of the map. 2 queens died for an Oracle. I still think it's good for Serral. MaxPax trying to get the base in the center. Very ambitious. No cancel. Straight up kill. 400 minerals down the drain there. MaxPax got greedy. Thought he could get away with letting that Nexus just regenerate some HP while it was building, or gathering HP rather. That is, if previously it was a small error, that's a big error on the side of MaxPax. I mean, maybe felt like he had to take a chance against Serral, hoping that the Nexus would survive. He would be able to kill all the links. Wait, it was? Huh? That's weird. Why does the Nexus not show up, guys? Did he kill it himself? There was no +300, no? No. Buildings pop up here. No, buildings pop up, no? Am I crazy? It never shows? No, that's not true. Unless we have a different mod here. It never shows. I feel like building... We always see the amount of hatcheries dying, the amount of planetary fortresses dying. Shows on the other one. This one only shows units lost. Ah, so this is a different mod. They have hosted a different mod. How do I see buildings lost? What is the hotkey for that? Yeah, I know it's literally written units lost, mate, but every single game that I've ever casted in my life, if I pressed Shift L, buildings show up. Battle reporting. I mean, that is very confusing. It shows creep tumors there. I'm actually very confused. The only explanation for me... No, guys. You guys make it seem like I'm crazy. I know that buildings dying is the thing, and I always use Shift L for that. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. No. I mean, this is just weird. I did not see the +300. There is a chance that maybe MaxPax killed his own Nexus. Yeah, I'll check the replay, obviously. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, guys. We'll see another building die as well. I'm sure of that. Alright, we have a couple of Zealots being dropped into the triangle base. Serral has more than enough units to deal with this. As one Adept had a lovely position between the mineral patches. I can't believe you guys are trying to tell me that it normally doesn't show buildings lost. That is literally craziness. It always shows up. Like, how many times haven't we talked about, like, 5 hatcheries dying, 6 planetaries dying? Like, that is a thing. Anyway, we'll talk more about it later. Maybe these banelings will blow up a pylon. And then you guys can see that I am not as crazy as you guys think I am. I know a lot of you guys see me as a demented old man, but... I'm not that out of touch, okay? There is a chance that MaxPax killed his own Nexus, and maybe then it doesn't show up. Alright, here we go, guys. Will the Banelings kill a building? Will they kill a building? Tease! Alright. Will we kill a building now? And we still haven't killed a building. Alright, there we go. We have Banelings crashing into the Protoss army as well. We do have a bunch of Colossus out. Lasers doing their thing. Lings getting on top of the assimilator. 12 probes falling. But MaxPax still has an army. Look at this, guys. 2 pylons dying. 2 cannons dying. And a battery dying. Ronnie, it never shows up. It's units lost. Learn how to read. Alright, chat. Alright. Well done. It's game 1 of a best of 7 and I'm already losing the last few hairs that I still have. I feel if the Nexus is cancelled, it shows plus 300. And there is a chance that I'm blind and I missed the plus 300, but I didn't see it. So I think what happened is that MaxPax killed his own Nexus. I think he killed it himself. I didn't see the plus 300. Maybe I missed it. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. We'll take a look at it in the replay. But here come the Lings and Banelings one more time. They will crash into the Colossus. 1 Colossus dies. That's a lot of Zerg, guys. And MaxPax is struggling, keeping this 4th base alive. And it is damn important for the Prince that he keeps this base alive. So many Banelings. 26 probes fall. And just like that, GG gets called. And now we're going to go ahead and figure out what the hell happened with that damn Nexus. No. Even if a Nexus is not finished, the only thing that it could have been is that I think either I missed the plus 300 or MaxPax killed it himself. But we'll keep an eye on it. No worries. I went back a little bit too far. The Nexus scandal will be uncovered here, guys. We will get to the bottom of this. I went back a little bit too far. This is where the links get in. We're almost there. Alright, here we go. 1050, okay? $1450. So the Nexus died. It shows up there. It doesn't show up here. But I don't see the Oracle attacking it. I don't see Stalkers attacking it. I know, Raiman, but that's not what matters. Anyway, what does matter, guys, is that Serral wins game 1 and now takes a 2-0 lead in this grand final as we are going to hop into Babylon. Yeah, exactly. I think what Mixu says there is correct, guys. I think that the Oracle accidentally killed the Nexus. I believe it was the Oracle that killed the Nexus. Buildings that are not completed yet should also show up there, yes. Because normally, if we're not sure if a hatchery dies, we bring up Shift L and we're like, oh, it was a kill, not a cancel. Or if we miss it, right? If we're looking at a fight, while we know a hatchery got cancelled or killed, we use Shift L to display it. So I think what it is that the Oracle killed the Nexus and we didn't see the animation of Pulsar Beam. I don't know if that counts as a kill on the Oracle, but that is literally the only option there is. Nexus Gate, it was an inside job. It was an inside job. It was not a Serral job. Alright, guys, round 3.
Round 3. Fight!
The drama in the grand finals of the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts 25th StarCraft 2 Anniversary Edition. In the bottom right side, a man who's been on fire lately. Kind of a rough game 1. Just a couple of unforced errors, a couple of mistakes there. And we cannot make mistakes against the Night King. And he knows that. He does have map pick because he was the loser of game 1. This is Storm Gaming's MaxPax. I was right though, Gabe. I was right, mate. In the top left side of Babylon, we are looking at the main base of the man that is representing Basilisk, hailing from Finland. Clean performance for him in game 1. Other than that first adapt, I don't think he was in too much trouble. This is Basilisk Serral. Yeah, it must have been the Oracle. Because a Stalker shot is relatively easy to trace. And I feel like it was not a Stalker shot. So I think the Oracle activated Pulsar Beam. MaxPax attack move. And I think he attack moved his own Nexus and he killed it. The Oracle, guys. was a spy. It was actually a hidden Muda. It was a Muda cosplaying as an Oracle and it killed the Nexus. It's harder to see the bouncing glaive. I think we got to the bottom of this. We figured it out. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. I am not sure if it shows up on the Oracle. After the Grand Finals, we can go over it again, guys. We can truly get to the bottom of it after the Grand Finals. But I don't think that either Serral or MaxPax or any of the other 9 casters would be incredibly happy if I am delaying Game 2 by 7 minutes to get to the bottom of the Nexus. I don't think anybody would truly appreciate that. So we'll let it rest for now and we'll get back to it once the Grand Finals are over. Nexus Gate is not over yet, but it's been postponed. I could ask. No. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on and enjoy the rest of these finals. Obviously, as a man that's a member of Basilisk, of course, I can never root against Jonah. But I also have my principles on my own stream, and that is that I always hope for competitive and close StarCraft. And I think that even goes for every other Basilisk member. So I will be rooting a little bit for MaxPax here and hope that we can get a close and competitive Grand Finals. I'm clearly part of the conspiracy. MaxiPaxi is switching things up, guys. We're going for the Twilight Council and the Resonating Glaives here in Game 2 or Game 3 of the Grand Finals. Call it however you want. It's always a bit awkward. Whoa, Yona! Guys? So Serral was not able to take his natural, took the 3rd base, and at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, he fires up the lair. A 2-base lair with a slightly later 3rd base. That's definitely a little bit unusual. I guess it's gonna give us much quicker access to roach speed and... Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. No, I don't think Queen Ling... I mean, no matter what Serral wants to do, he's gonna have to defend against Resonating Glaives. Serral's Overlord has seen the Twilight Council, so he knows. I feel like you don't really want to attack the Protoss early on when they go for 3 or 4 gateways Resonating Glaive Adept. In this case, it is only 3 gateways. That is a bit different. 3 gateway Resonating Glaive Adept with a quick Robo Bay as a follow-up. Alright. I'm a little bit confused about these openings, but we'll just take it from here. He's done it before. It's his response to get fast roach speed. Yeah. That makes a whole lot more sense than Queen Ling Nidus. I can get behind that. I feel like it is a bit different than what I normally see, but probably indeed something that we have seen before and something that does make sense. Very quick roach speed. And I guess after that we can always go back into droning. Roach speed is also going to help against the balls, obviously. Disruptors will most likely be produced from the Robo as soon as the Robo Bay is done. Adept count is at 11, guys. 5 minutes into the game, 11 adepts. MaxPax will not let a shade like this finish up. That'd be crazy. Roddy would do that. Hashtag Roddy rules. But MaxPax will not. Serral, obviously, with the quick lair, can start dropping creep. And it can actually deny a Nexus from going down. Kind of a cute little play. War Prism speed on the production tab as well. Serral knew that he was going to lose that Overlord. So at this point, you may as well just continue dropping creep. And getting a nice little delay. Lynx were thinking of going to the other side of the map, but they have decided against it. War Prism in the main base. MaxiPaxi. We gotta be paying attention there, mate. And he is. Well, that's a very clean game by Serral so far. Even if, you know, you can say like, okay, he's been behind in workers all along. It is 3 bases against 2 bases. Serral still has a lot of battle units out too. Definitely has potential to get a... Oh no, not again, guys. Don't tell me we're gonna get another Nexus kill. The Nexus Gate, it's back. I'm not ready. No one is ready. Yona has been flawless so far. Here comes the disrupt. Don't kill it. Okay, he cancelled it. Then Nova could have actually killed the Nexus. And it would have truly been Nexus Gate Part 2. I would not have been ready. MaxPax, I mean, memes aside though, guys. MaxPax is in very serious trouble here. This is not a very pretty game for the Prince at all. Serral with that 1-0 lead entering this Grand Finals, best of 7. MaxPax having map choice after map choice here. Not really off to a flying start. Time for a little bit of Protoss magic. I think we need one of these Hearthstone Novas against the Maga. And then we can ask ourselves, does it matter though? Serral gets cancel number 2. That is big, man. This is now a 7-minute game. Okay, one good Nova there, but Serral's paying attention. We'll turn around with the roaches. The Lynx are there as well, kind of to bodyguard and escort the roaches home safely. Serral's playing at an amazingly high level so far, and MaxPax is having a hard time. He's kind of finding anything that he can truly be very happy about. He's taking a lot of damage on his Speedy Prism here too. Flies over a 4th hatchery. At this point, it kind of feels that the only thing we can really do is just chill a little bit. Maybe he feels that if he chills too much, he's going to fall even further behind, but with the economies that we are working with, guys, if MaxPax loses a fight, loses a skirmish, makes one mistake, this game is over. So I'd almost say maybe just turtle a tiny bit and try to get at least 3 bases fully saturated, and then we still have a chance. This stuff is risky, man, because I'm not even sure if he's looking. He doesn't necessarily know where all the queens are. We do have the roaches battling the stalkers in the top right side, and it does seem that that went somewhat, excuse me, Lynx, that went somewhat well for MaxPax. Can we drop a disruptor? Serral has only lost 4 roaches in this entire game. There are a couple of observers in the mix here for MaxPax. That's obviously nice. That's going to allow him to push back the creep a little bit. Finds a couple links too. Serral's setting up a little run by the Stalker hold position. Got Adepts here, but if the Adept Shade finishes up, that's annoying for MaxPax. And it does. The links turn around immediately and go for the battery. Could have been gnarly. A couple of corrosive balls go down. Here is the Nova. Gets a couple roaches and a few links. New Adepts have been warped in. There are also Adepts, guys, in the bottom side of the map. Those Adepts could shade into that base at 9 o'clock. MaxPax, I feel like stepping it up a little bit. Does Serral have any units ready to deal with these Adepts? We are about to find out. Yeah, a couple links. That's enough. If MaxPax would have had a better shade there, guys, in the mineral patches, I think it would have been okay for the Adepts, but the Adepts were too exposed. Serral now confident that he can battle this army, or at least push it back for a split second. This time around, it's Banelings. These are slow Banelings, but even slow Banelings can pack a punch. Baneling speed finishes up towards the end. Serral setting up a little bit of surround. MaxPax is not able. Can he? Oh my goodness, Serral with the CuKu. Serral with the roaches and ravagers gets on top of the disruptor and guns it down before that ball would have gone off. And we could have asked ourselves, does it matter though? That ball would have mattered, guys. It absolutely would have mattered. Do have a little Nova connecting there with 2 roaches, but there are more Lynx chasing this Stalker army. Units lost resource step shows us that it's actually the Protoss who has lost a few resources more. That's obviously not a great spot to be in. Hive is finishing up in this 10-minute game that opened up with a lot of potential aggression from MaxPax. He's not able to find a whole lot. Adepts are going to try to get fortunate one more time. What I mentioned earlier, guys, is those 4 Adepts that were here. If he would have done like 2 Adepts here and 2 Adepts here, they would have won that fight against the Lynx. War Prism snuck into the main base, fired 2 Novas. 1 Queen died by the looks of it. Serral is bulletproof against the Adepts so far, man. Just not giving any freebies at all to the Prince. Stalker ball is growing rather nicely though. Very difficult game for MaxPax, not looking pretty. But I do believe there is a shot. With a Speedy Prism, a lot of Blinky Boys and a couple of Disruptors, there is always a chance. 1 Great Nova is all it takes, but can we land that Great Nova? So far that has absolutely not been the case. Look at how Serral just keeps track of this War Prism, guys. With like 10 or 12 links, making it so hard for the Disruptors to be unloaded. Gets a very easy cancel at this base on the bottom side of the map. I love the way that Yona has been dealing with this War Prism. Stunning play, guys. Stellar performance so far by the Night King himself. The Banelings trying to roll in. Serral avoids that Nova too. Not a single Nova has really got what it's been looking for. Serral is going full Terran on us, guys. There are a couple of Banelings, I believe, coming in from the other side as well. Serral with a very sexy Zerg surround. And normally Banelings against Stalkers is not what you need. But when these are the engagements, you're okay with Banelings against Stalkers. And just like that, after 12 minutes, It is Serral who takes a 3-0 lead in the grand finals. Wow. Yeah, that's some high-level Zerg play there, guys. That is some high-level Zerg play. But this is what legends are made of. If you want to go down in the history books, you turn down an 0-3 deficit in the grand finals. Sorky did it once. Let's see if MaxPax can be like Sorky. Didn't he only need a 3-0? Yeah, but I did the scoreboard as in like he started off 1-0. So. There is another game. MaxPax has map choice once more. And after picking Dragon Skills first and Babylon second, MaxPax has gone for Gresvan as potentially the final game of the 25th StarCraft 2 anniversary special Big Brain Bouts edition, brought to you guys by Basilisk and Roddy and Wardi and Steadfast and everybody else that's passionate and loves StarCraft. And over 200 players. It's a bit sad that we obviously had that break, because now we kind of lost that crazy momentum and the happy buzz feeling from yesterday, but we had a monstrous bracket, guys. I think safe to say the biggest bracket that we've seen in many years of StarCraft 2. For the people who've missed it yesterday and are just watching a little bit of StarCraft in the afternoon right now, this was our bracket yesterday. You scroll, you scroll, you scroll, you scroll, you scroll. And you can keep on scrolling, baby. I believe we had 230 players signing up for our special $2,500 StarCraft tournament yesterday. The link right now is to WTL. I did not update that, but... He thought it starts like 30 minutes from now. Rip. Hello, Maddox. I mean, I don't know what to say. I feel like we've been very, very clear about this starting at 4 p.m. CEST. And the East Coast time and the West Coast time. Alright, it's do or die. Can we get some Danish magic going here in Game 4?
Round 4. Fight!
The man needs to step it up, needs to go full pedal to the metal, and needs to put on a heroic performance if he wants to make sure that he's on the right outcome of this grand finals. Bottom right side, representing Psystorm Gaming, the winner of the Pigsty tournament, the winner of almost every single weekly lately. This is Psystorm Gaming's MaxPax. It started off with a Nexus, and you blink twice, and suddenly we are down 3-0 in this grand finals. Against this man in the top left side, the Finnish Phenom. Can he get another W on his already so impressive resume? This is Basilisk Serral. Once more, MaxPax sent out a very early probe, so he's going to force Serral to take the triangle expand. There is a downside to that as a Zerg player, and that obviously is that every drone you produce from the main after your main is saturated needs to travel a little bit longer to this mineral line rather than this mineral line. The upside to this is that it is a bit easier to get your creep going. And a lot of Zergs have just kind of embraced taking that base. They don't even mind. They like getting that creep out as quickly as possible. You really wish the ESL weekly had a lower bracket? Yeah, I kind of wish so too. Like even just best of one lower bracket. It creates stories, it creates an extra chance for everyone. And it just makes it a little more fun rather than signing up for the tournament. And then you're like, okay, round of 32, I got Gerald. Round of 32, I get Christianer. It feels that with a lower bracket, best of one, you just you're allowed to dream a little bit more. And that's why I did it yesterday. And I really like the way it played out, and I think a lot of players enjoyed it too. I feel like overall we need slightly more double elim. Like, I'm not saying that double elim is what we need for the biggest tournament of the year, like Katowice or something. But I think to motivate people to sign up and give not just the best players, but also the players below that. And even, you know, the rather casual players a fun experience in competing. I think double elim tournaments are pretty important. And then on top of that, it's always nice, right? If there is one matchup that you really hate, if you lose to that respective race in the upper bracket, you'll still have a chance against different races in the lower bracket. I just think it's fun. I like the way that it played out yesterday. I was very happy with it. Alright, enough about formats. Let's go ahead and see if MaxPax can play a very clean game. And that is obviously what we need here. to at least get a point on the board and make this a close and competitive finals. Often all it takes, guys, is a single map to get the ball rolling. Even for a man like MaxPax. Second Adept, I like it. Only a single Zergling here. This could be that start that MaxPax is looking for. Queen number 2 does hatch. It's a little bit of lost mining time. The Adepts are still very healthy. Not too much creep here in between the bases. But MaxPax does not want to let that Shade finish up and take the risk of losing those Adepts. But hey, a drone and 2 links. Not a bad start. Do you know if anything changed for Serral and Rainer after they joined the same team? Like, I guess they are not training partners? I mean, if they weren't training partners before, they should absolutely be training partners now. It's not that they are bigger rivals than they were before. They're on the same team. They represent the same org. But Serral and Rainer have always been very good friends with each other. They get along in a great way. I don't think they are ultra fond of playing ZVZ against one another, but that's more just because I guess they don't really enjoy ZVZs, and they also feel like it just generates next level mind games for when they do finally play in the tournament. But they were close and they are still close. They were friends, they're still friends. So I don't think a whole lot has changed, to answer your question in a simple manner. Double Oracle floating around here for MaxPax, looking for some freebies, but freebies is not something that Serral is going to give you very often. Just like in that first game, MaxPax tries to battle the Queens, does not quite work. What is happening with the Adepts? I guess the Adepts died and got 2 drones. Since the Spore Crawler wasn't done yet, I kind of wonder if the Oracles could have taken a risky route and tried to get behind the mineral line. Maybe there was a small opportunity there for the double Oracle to get a couple drones. Because obviously Oracles are quicker than Queens. This is the original hero wall, is what Spots is saying. This looks like a very bad wall to me, Spots. I don't care if it's a MaxPax or a hero or a ruddy wall. It looks like a pretty bad wall. I think everybody knows that if any of us Diamond Leaguers out there would try to attempt a wall off like this, we get Baning Busted, we lose the game. But obviously MaxPax has triple Oracle and he knows that none of that weird stuff is happening. But I would not be very confident with that wall. Maybe there was a bit of nerves, because I guess it all started with the Cybercore. I did see the Cybercore go up like 1 square higher than it normally goes up, but I've panicked over walls before and then it actually turned into something rather beautiful down the line. So I was like, okay, let's see what he comes up with. I'm not going to address it. 6 minutes into the game, I think we can address it and we can safely say that it's an ugly and rather bad wall. But other than the wall off, guys, I do feel that this game is just a bit better for MaxPax. We haven't lost an Oracle. We haven't lost something crazy like a Nexus. We haven't lost any probes. We killed 7 drones. I think MaxPax is doing an alrighty job here. Probably the best start he's had in any of these 3 games so far. 3 Oracles, he could kill the 4th. If he's right on top of it immediately, yes. If that hatchery is like halfway done, then you don't want to do it. Because there are so many moments where the Oracle energy is very important defensively. Either for Pulsar Beam or Stasis Traps or Revelations. And burning all your Oracle energy on maybe killing a 4th base. But then it finishes up and the Queens are there. Transfuse. You could lose the game. So I understand that MaxPax didn't want to take that risk. That is a saturated 4th base, guys. Man, Serral's reactions are so quick, eh? Just keeps an eye on the minimap all the time. Pulls the drones away immediately. But he sends them back rather quickly. If MaxPax would have been paying attention, he maybe could have killed 2 extra workers there. That is not the case. The Pax is floating a little bit of money. But he has just warped in a bunch of stuff. A couple of extra gateways. A couple stalkers by the looks of it. Baning Nest has gone down for Serral as well. Serral has activated the Stasis Trap with just a couple of links. Stalkers are expensive units and so are Oracles, as 1 Oracle dies to the Queens. 4 Stalkers is a lot, man, for just a single roach. These are not the traits, guys, that MaxPax is looking for. It is supposed to be very difficult for the Zerg to get kills on the very mobile and fast Stalker with the blink ability. And it's supposed to be a bit easier for the Protoss to kind of just stay at range, chip off or chip away the Zerg army, pick up a couple of units and go back. Losing 4 Stalkers is no bueno. 5 Stalkers being wiped in for the Prince at the Triangle bases. He is going up to 5 bases. Serral, his hives, by the way, are so ridiculously quick, man. It's 8 minutes and 25 seconds, guys, and the hive is finishing up in a game where MaxPax has been poking and prodding all game long, as Loco would say. And he's been in his face. But Serral just doesn't really have any fear. Lost 8 drones throughout the game, but yeah, that's about it. 86 drones, an 8 minute and 40-second hive is done. Lurkers could be on the production tab soon. Could get a couple of those feisty lurk upgrades as well. More Stalkers getting caught here by the Lynx. Again, not the traits that MaxPax is looking for. Zealot Bombay gets denied on the Protoss side of the map. Like, what is this black magic that I'm witnessing over here? Serral has units in all the correct positions. But obviously MaxPax still has a chance. Finds a queen. That's obviously nice. Cannot find that Ravager. I think he lost high ground vision there, or just didn't have it in the first place. Lurkers are on the production tab. With the double upgrades though, guys. We have 2 forges. 1-1 is done. +2 is more than halfway done. I want to say a little bit of hero magic. But yeah. Gateway units, not very good against lurkers. Unless you can like ambush them, surround them, get on top of them easily. We do have a War Prism in the main base. War Prism in the main base. MaxPax currently working with 6 gases, by the way, for the people who are very curious about that. So a couple Zealots in the main. This is obviously nice. Can pull a lot of units out of position, and it may open the doors for the Stalker Oracle army. Lurker count is at 3. Ravager count is at 3. MaxPax definitely finding some success here. Well, we obviously cannot get too carried away. Stalker is still expensive. Wants the hatchery. Wants the hatchery. I don't see any queens nearby. Gets the hatchery. More Zealots running into the 3rd base. Welcome back, Prince. We've missed you. I don't want to say that MaxPax is now in the driver's seat to win this game, because Serral's supply is still looking mighty fine. But at least MaxPax is finally finding some damage. He's finding some Ws. And sure, he's throwing away a lot of units to get those Ws. But that's worth it. With the style that MaxPax is playing, it's completely okay to lose a couple Zealots and kill a bunch of drones. To even lose a Stalker or 2 if we kill a hatchery. All very acceptable. Serral is very lurker heavy, and obviously if we have to fight this with Stalkers, we are in trouble. We could land a big Nova perhaps, but 1 Nova is not enough. Yeah, this is gonna get gnarly. This is gonna get gnarly. Stalkers cannot run in range of this many lurkers. We need these carriers yesterday. We have a couple cannons here, guys. Cannons can buy some time. The battery overcharge is buying some time. Stalkers right now with Zealots battling the Roaches. This is a good fight for MaxPax, but can we clean this army up? Do we have observers out, guys? I mean, carriers are almost out. We have 1-ups. That's okay. I honestly think this is not too bad for MaxPax, guys. Sure, you lose a couple probes. You may lose that base, but in return, he has killed Ravages. He has killed a bunch of Roaches. He is on the other side of the map, and the carriers will keep him safe for now. Not forever, of course, because the Spire is close to finishing up for Serral. And there are more Hydras on the way, but at least the carriers can push back the Lurkers. +1 air weapons, halfway done. MaxPax did end up losing that Nexus to the Lurkers, so that is a bit unfortunate for him. I love this, by the way. He turns around for a split second to kill the Lynx, so it won't just be 1 or 2 Zerglings activating that stasis trap. Very cool play there by MaxPax, even protecting his stasis traps. But there is still going to be a very scary moment as Serral with his Overseer is using Contaminate on one of these Stargates. Like right now, we are building carriers 2 at a time. But Serral, obviously as a Zerg player, is able to build 11, 12, 13 Corruptors at a time. And that is a problem for MaxPax. If we cannot keep these carriers safe, we cannot clean up the Lurkers. And if we can't clean up the Lurkers, we are in trouble. I think the Observer just died there, by the way. There is another Observer out. Uh-oh. Difficult one for MaxPax. Has a bunch of gas in the bank. Has the Templar Archives. Could get extra Archons. We have 2 very brave Zealots just trying to create some chaos. But here are the Corruptors. We need to micro these carriers to the overcharge. Okay, Interceptors all deployed. That's obviously nice. Lurker gets surrounded. Also nice for MaxPax. Hanging in there, knows about the Corruptors that are out on the battlefield at this point. These 2 Zealots, guys? Not quite. Not quite good enough. +2 melee done. Obviously, Adrenal Glands done as well. Not working on +2 air weapons at the moment. As Serral has his first Vipers on the way. 14 minutes into the game. I'd say definitely the closest game of this grand final so far. +2 air weapons now has been booted up. We need to chrono boost the hell out of that bad boy. You guys know me and my obsession over +2 air weapons. It's a big one. Get Storm. I don't know. The problem with Storm, guys, is that whenever you storm the Zerg, you also storm your own interceptors. And if your interceptors die, then your carriers are useless. Like down the line, it can obviously be a decent choice, but you need to keep that in mind at all costs. And I don't mind that MaxPax maybe felt that would take a little bit too long, and he rather relied on normal units trying to protect his carriers than storm. Mama ship. Let me know what Lambo has to say about that Mama ship, guys. Is he telling the Hearthstone stream that that is a good choice? Why is +2 air weapons really good? Honestly, mate, I feel like that's one of these things that nobody knows. It's just, it makes a night and day difference. So basically what we can say is that obviously carriers don't have one attack, they have interceptors. So then you could say they have 8 attacks, but interceptors attack twice, so they have 16 attacks. So basically +1 damage on everything is +16. Now it's a monstrous upgrade. I don't really know how the numbers work when it came to one-shotting units, but +2 carriers are just really good. So are Vipers. Abduct is good. And the first Abduct dies. Maybe a few Tempest good. I think down the line we could do that. Right now I don't want to see Tempest. I think this game is still a bit too open. I think there is potential for mobility. I think there is potential for run-bys. I don't think we need to turn this into a Turtle Tempest festival at the moment. Observer dies there. We gotta be careful. We know there are Vipers in the mix, and Archon is trying to protect the carrier there. That obviously is not going to work. Like, what I would like to see now, guys, is High Templars, though. Lol, that Archon went straight through the pillar. Yeah, we can't really be on the other side of the map with carriers if we know Serral has Vipers and a bunch of Corruptors and enough anti-air. Like, you need feedback. Combination of an Oracle and feedback could very well be all you need. No idea what these others are up to, by the way. Wolf commanding them. We have a couple Oracles in the mix. Come on, mate. We gotta rely on feedback, no? I'm very surprised to not see a single High Templar. And I think at this point, Storm would be totally fine, by the way. Kinda like to even see it. I'm never truly a believer, but I think Storm makes sense here. I feel like playing without any feedback is very ambitious. I think at that point MaxPax is just hoping that Serral drops the ball and messes up in a big way, but I don't know if I want to rely on that, guys. If I'm playing against CuKu Zerg, you know, we could rely on that. Against Serral, probably not. Yeah, that seems to be the game plan. Trigger says Serral's ultra late game is just unbeatable, to be honest. You know, I used to always feel the same way. But then suddenly we had Zone on Data C getting the W over Serral at DreamHack Masters Valencia? Something like that. Was it Valencia or was it Atlanta, I guess? That was like one of the first times ever that I saw Serral lose the ultra late game against the Protoss. And that actually included a Mothership, a bunch of Archons, a bunch of carriers. So there is a chance. If Zan can do it, the Prince can do it. Did Oliveira play against Serral for his tournament win? No, he did not. But he did have a very tough record. So we cannot say that he didn't have a tough record. He had an incredibly tough record. Nice feedback there, guys. Obviously, the Oracle's dying is a bit of a problem. But at least one feedback did go off. Carrier count is at 11. 23 Corruptors, 4 Infestors, 1 Viper only. After that feedback. I mean, might be a pretty decent moment, guys, to just go for it. Okay, can we land the feedback? Oh, it's close. Battle of Vision here. The Battle of Vision is so important. I think the Mothership was trying to get a recall off into the main base. But Serral was all over it. MaxPax is going to try again, guys. I have the feeling that he is thinking of maybe rallying this into the main and then recalling the Protoss army into the main base. That is a play that was popular a while ago. You know what's interesting, by the way? In this 19-minute game, we don't have a Dark Shrine. Not that I feel that a Dark Shrine was really mandatory here or something, but Most of the time, there is a Darks right here. This is obviously very scary positioning against Updogs. Will there be Updogs? A lot of the intercepts are out. 2 Infestors die. Good job there. 3 Infestors die. 4 Infestors die. And now the Viper dies as well. Serral feels that this is a fight that he can take. I don't know, man. It's a whole lot of carriers. Okay, the Viper did not die yet. We do have a big storm landing on the Corruptors in the end. MaxPax lost a lot of carriers. But Serral also lost a lot of spellcasters there and a bunch of Corruptors. If you look at the supplies, you're always like, well, Zerg's still maxed out. But over 30-something supply was in production there. So they both lost a decent amount. What happened to the mothership, by the way? Oh! What happened to the mothership? This is what happened to the mothership. I don't know, though. I mean, Serral has actually had enough time to rebuild a whole bunch of Corruptors. We have 30 Corruptors. I don't know if this is a good recall, MaxPax, because the Corruptor count is at 30. And, like, recalling 5 or 6 carriers into 30 Corruptors, that cannot possibly be a very good play. At least a bunch of Zerg units go down, but Serral is so much richer than MaxPax is. You know, if that would have happened immediately, right after the fight, right after the storms connected, I would have been like, you know, maybe. But I just think a little bit too much time had passed and Serral was able to remax. All the extra Corruptors, full on HP, popped out. And yeah, we're recalling a couple of carriers into 30 Corruptors. Serral only dropped a single map in this entire tournament. And I believe that was game 1 against Bulmyeolja. Is that correct, guys? Somewhere in the upper bracket. Other than that, nothing but clean victories. Even though everybody, literally everyone, had map pick against him. Because Serral was seed 1. I kind of feel like I handicapped him coming into this tournament. Everyone had map pick over Serral. And he literally only lost a single game. He's not totally there yet, but things are starting to look very dire for MaxPax. Like, after this fight, I didn't think it was over or anything, but losing the mothership, losing all those carriers into the main base, I think that is something that is incredibly difficult to recover from. We can also now see that MaxPax has lost over 12,000 resources more than Serral. A lurker from the high ground, okay. It seems that MaxPax is now going full Neep. He's like, you know what? I tried to attack, I tried to be aggressive, it didn't work, you weathered the storm. Let's go ahead and go full Alex Sunderhaft. With a whole bunch of cannons, a whole bunch of batteries, a bunch of Archons, Storm and Tempest. And I don't hate it. I think going in... Carriers are always awesome units, I think. But if you lose a fight and then you lose another fight, carriers are no longer the unit you want to make. So you may as well try to win it in a different manner. And it seems that the way that MaxPax is trying to win it is in a very defensive, passive, grindy way. Nexus does die, but it's not the most important Nexus. 3 Archons will deny that lurker from burrowing and being annoying. MaxPax definitely is pretty broke, but if we can max out, we have a couple of Disruptors, we have a whole bunch of Tempests, we have cannons and batteries. You know, there is a chance. It's not looking good. It definitely looks like Serral is going to win this tournament by only dropping a single map. Like Loki, actually a super stunning performance. I know a lot of people look at the tournament and be like, oh yeah, Serral wins. Well, we know that Serral can win. But for Serral to win a tournament like this, where everybody has map pick over him, that's pretty mental. Shield Battery Overcharge is activated, but the pylon dies, and that means that the Shield Battery Overcharge doesn't do anything. This is obviously not Serral's entire army. It is MaxPax's entire army. Make no mistake about that. Serral's got a couple of Broodlords in the mix too. I'm not sure how I totally feel about the Broodlords. I guess good against the Archons, but obviously not very good against the 10 Tempests we got currently out on the battlefield. Spore Crawlers die. I don't think we have the Tempest upgrade. No, we do not. Couple of Novas are dying. Lurkers getting, honestly, a lot of damage initially. Maybe Storm, maybe feedback, MaxPax. Okay, drops a little Storm before being forced to evacuate. Honestly, guys, I'm starting to feel it a little bit. I don't know, but I'm starting to feel the Alex Sunderhaft over here as we have a great Nova. 1 Disruptor, just killed 4 Infestors. I mean, Serral's got a lot of minerals in the bank, but minerals alone is not enough to win a late game ZVP. Did Serral ease off the gas a little bit too much? Did he not keep pushing when he could have kept pushing? Losing all those infestors, man, with all that energy is definitely a big loss. It's gonna take a little while to recover from that. One more Nova softens up a whole bunch of lurkers. The Broodlords are just gonna have a hard time against this many Tempests. Nice fungal there by Serral. Could maybe try to drop a Parasitic Bomb. We do have the combo of Fungal Growth and Parasitic Bomb, and that is such a gnarly one. Spore Crawlers and Broodlords are trying to keep the Archons at bay. One more big fungal goes down. Super chaotic fight. All the Tempests low in HP, but they're still alive. But for how much longer? It basically feels that all the Tempests are 2 corrupted hits away from dying. The Archons are doing their absolute best, trying to keep the Tempests safe, and sort of do a pretty good job in that. If MaxPax had more money, I think we could have said that all went pretty good for him. But MaxPax doesn't have more money. It's Serral who's rich. Serral has got the entire bottom side of the map. Yeah, you know what it is, guys? On one hand, you can be like, this is awesome, so many Tempests survived. But what's problematic is that now the next time they fight, all of these Tempests are a fungal and a parasitic bomb away from exploding all at the same time. As a weird way, as a Protoss, sometimes you get punished for surviving a fight with certain units, because these units are going to fall so much quicker than they normally do. And it's incredibly difficult, but MaxPax needs to avoid a parasitic bomb landing at all costs. Because if a parabomb goes down in the middle of the Tempest, I mean, all of these Tempests are gone. I think a single maybe not enough to kill it. But a combo of Fungal and Parasitic Bomb is absolutely enough to kill it. Ooh, couple of carriers. We have rebuilt the carriers, and that recall doesn't do anything. 2 carriers getting picked off by the fleet of Corruptors. 20 Corruptors of them. Serral, he's here. He's there. He's everywhere where he needs to be. But he does move command a Lurkerling army here, so could have been ugly, but actually ends up only losing a single Lurker. Infestors, there's the Fungal, guys. And these Tempests are obviously so low on HP. Fungal, Parasitic Bomb. He denied the Parabombs from going down. I mean, that's like the best thing that he could have done, but it's still nowhere near enough. Serral clean sweeps the grand final. And honestly, Serral just sweeps this entire tournament as he wins the 25th special edition of the Big Brain Bouts, celebrating 25 years of the StarCraft franchise. We had the entire tournament yesterday. Today, we just had the grand final. Serral wins it all, walks away with $700, and only dropped a single map in the process. And he was the top seed of the tournament, which meant that every single opponent Serral had was able to pick the first map, and after losing the first map, were able to pick the second map. Yeah, Serral at this point is completing StarCraft 2 multiplayer on brutal mode. It's like, you know what, this is a pretty fun game, but I feel like we can make it even harder on ourselves. And he did. Interview. Yeah, I think it would be fun to do a little interview with Serral and ask him about the Roddy rules. I think it's okay. I'll send him a message. Hey, you know, wanna do a little chat? A couple minutes? GG's, guys. Yesterday was an amazing day. I think a very wholesome day with a lot of good and happy vibes in the community. We played it all. A tournament with over 200 players all the way to the grand finals. Today we continue the grand finals. And Serral was just flawless. The man put on a masterclass. I think the final game was definitely the closest of them all. Yeah, the moment that the recall was used, it was a bit painful. I'll see what Serral says. Serral says, okay. Alrighty, mate. Give me a couple min. Give me 2-3 min. And then I ring you on Discord. Alright, guys. Interview with the great AirneanachTV is coming up. Obviously, I am reading chat. We've got no delay. So if you guys have any specific questions for Serral, feel free to ask them whenever I address the chat or whenever the interview is going for a couple minutes. Shout out to the leaders for the 99 months, mate. That is freaking awesome. So I'm going to take a little break, run a couple ads. After that, I'll be back. We'll do a little interview with Serral, where I'm just curious to say what he has to say about next the hashtag Roddy rules. And also, we can't forget, guys, about NexusGate. Hashtag NexusGate is still a thing. We have to get to the bottom of this, and we will. I'll be right back. Couple minutes. Interview with Serral. We'll see you guys then. I am back. We have a scene. I have to set everything up properly, but I'm going to do my best to make that happen. Let's see, Serral. And obviously get your questions ready, guys. I will gladly ask some questions from the chat, of course. We are not in a rush. Let's go. Thank you, Basilisk. I am ringing the man himself. I think it's his favorite part of every tournament. He's always happy to see me. I know he will be.
Hey.
Hello, hello, Jona. All right, let me see if this all works. It is not perfect. I'm gonna try to make it perfect. I can make it perfect, but I can do maybe this. Sorry, give me 1 sec. It is not looking the way that I want it to look. What can I do? Okay, well, I think we're just gonna roll with it. Not perfect, but it's okay. We'll roll with it. Jona, congratulations, amigo. Another big victory for you. A monstrous tournament. One of the biggest tournaments we've had in a little while. Okay, 1 second, actually. Sorry, mate. I'm really bothered by this. I'm trying to get it better. What am I... Oh, wait. No. Why is it not working the way that I want it to work? This is frustrating. That doesn't look good. Jona, we need to get you
That doesn't look very good, I agree.
Yeah. I don't want to stretch you out too much. We need to get Jona a nice camera. What did we say about that?
I think my camera is fine.
Yeah?
It's pretty good, actually, I think.
It is decent. Okay, well. I can try one more thing. Nope, that doesn't work. Well. Yeah. It's frustrating, but okay. I tried. I cannot fix it, unfortunately. So this is just what we're gonna roll with. We're gonna do it all over again. Serral, mate, congratulations. Yesterday obviously was a very long day. Today there was a single best of 7 waiting for you. So I guess my first question is, after such a long and grueling day yesterday, do you then go to bed? And did you already know you were going to play MaxPax, or did you figure that out this morning?
Well, I went to sleep instantly. I got the confirmation I can go sleep, so I didn't know, but I was kind of expecting there's a good chance MaxPax will come. I think I did I see the MaxPax Bjorn match? No, actually, I didn't even see that. So I think Bjorn could have maybe beaten him there, but that's very late there. So MaxPax took him down comfortably, and then I think MaxPax has Clem's number a little bit, so I was kind of thinking that, or maybe I would get Clem again, but everything's fine for me.
So do you then have some ZVP dreams already, or are you able to just put it to bed and get a good night of sleep and figure it all out the next day?
Yeah, well, I didn't see any pro streams, but I was happy I was able to get a lot of sleep, and I feel like if I would have had to stay up until like 4, maybe I would have messed up our team league matches as well. So it was very nice this way, but I didn't see any pros. I didn't see any pro streams, no.
I have a hard time believing, mate, that if you would have stayed up till 4, that we would have really struggled in the WTL today. But all right, let's talk a little bit about the grand finals. Obviously, MaxPax is a man on fire. He's been playing incredibly well lately, winning a lot of the European weeklies, some of the American weeklies. He won Piggy's tournament. It was a big performance. We know how good he is. The fact that he made it to the grand final just proved that once more. We started off on Dragon Skills today. And there was actually a bit of drama in the chat. Now, obviously, you as a player may not have necessarily gotten that, but there was a Nexus gate. When MaxPax tried to go up to 4 bases in the center of Dragon Skills, you had a couple of links working on that Nexus, and you got the kill. Did you know you got the kill?
I did. There was no cancel thing there, so it was an obvious kill.
Yeah, but it didn't show up in the unit's lost step. So what we think happened is that the Oracle actually accidentally killed the Nexus. So the Oracle was helping out with your links a little bit. That was obviously a big moment. Talk to me about the rest of the game. Did you feel that after a start like that, the game is already in the bag? Or did you know you still had to work pretty hard for it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a comfortable start, but I didn't throw up as good as I should have. So it wasn't like the best start on my part. So obviously I knew I had to work a bit hard there. I also stayed on way too low gas for a long time, so my bailing count was pretty non-existent. I had like 30 at max maybe. So it wasn't the perfect game, but obviously with a start like that, you can do some mistakes as well.
Second game was on Babylon, and you went for something that Rainer mentioned in the chat you've done quite often, where you go for an incredibly quick lair, basically of 2 bases, then a slightly later third, and it gives you very quick road speed. Is that just the way that you like to respond against adept builds?
Well, it's one of the ways. That's not my standard, but I think it's pretty good, and it's been working out really, really well. To be honest, I don't think I have enough practice with it. So I do some mistakes, like I thrown up a bit too late a lot of the time. But in that game, I did get a lot of damage with my counter-attack roaches, and I do think road speed on the map is very strong early on. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good build. I actually had that one prepared for Katowice, but I didn't really play any process there. Well, I played play against Hero, but those games were their history, bit of clone fiestas.
I think Babylon was a very clean game from your side as well, though, right? It just felt that not a single big Nova went off. The Adepts couldn't really get a whole lot done. Did it also feel in the game like you were really dialed in today and you're in the zone, or still critical of yourself and felt like you could have done things better?
Yeah, I mean, the game was going really well, everything considered, but obviously I did do some mistakes here and there. Creep spread was pretty non-existent for the most of the game, and obviously that's because I had only 4 queens. I didn't make any extras, but in general, I think I was playing pretty decent today, and yeah, I had the builds going my way, I guess.
I love how humble we always are, Yona. Flawless victory in the grand finals. Well, pretty decent, you know. I think it was very good, Yona. We can talk a little bit about the closest game of this best of 7 grand finals, and that was definitely Grasvan. Felt that MaxPax cleaned up the play a little bit. Definitely found some more damage early on. Not crazy amounts of damage, but just a couple drones here, a couple drones there. And it obviously forced you to play Hive, some Lurkers. Did you ever feel like you were in trouble in Grasvan, or were you always pretty happy with how the game was going?
Well, I mean, I think the game was going really well for me. I got a lot of Stalkers, and my trunk count was pretty good. Got an Oracle as well relatively early in the little skirmishes we had. And the plan was to go Lurkers, so I was pretty happy with how everything was going. I did take some relatively bad engagements with my Corruptors, but luckily he didn't quite have the carrier number to actually kill me there. There were a couple of times when I was a bit worried, especially when I was fighting at my 5th base and he got all my Vipers there. And then I took the fight without Barra Bomb against the carriers. I think that was a bit of a bad moment for me. But besides that, it was pretty comfortable. I'm not as good as I used to be in late game, but I'm still very confident if I just get to a decent late game army that I'm most of the times gonna win.
Yeah, I think that definitely showed as well. I obviously want to ask you a few questions about the rest of the tournament, but before we dive into the run that you've had, and obviously you played a lot of games yesterday, how did we feel about the hashtag Roddy rules?
Well, the Roti rules are... Well, to be honest, with this map pool, I don't mind the Roti rules, but with some other map pool, I wouldn't have liked the Roti rules. But I did like that yesterday the Roti rules changed the time of the finals. That was very nice. But in general, the map picking order wasn't my favorite.
No, but it does speed up the process a little bit, right? Obviously, this was not a regular tournament. We've been pushing it throughout the entire week. I told everyone in the Discord, Rainer told everyone in his Discord, on multiple streams to get as many signups as possible. When you have a bracket with over 200 players, I think getting rid of the veto system and actually favoring the little guy a little bit, I think it was kind of nice. I think it worked out in 2 ways. It was time efficient, and it obviously allowed people to dream a bit more than they would normally do.
Well, the thing is that I don't think there's a little guy when we get into the top matches. There's no little guy in those. But yeah, it does speed up the vetoing process for sure.
Not everyone has won a Katowice and a BlizzCon, Serral. There's definitely a few little guys out there.
I don't know. I feel like with some other map pool, this would have been a painful experience for me.
Yeah, but if you would have lost a map, then you can also pick maps. It's not like they can have all the map picks. It's only the first one.
Yeah, but they are gonna get... If I win the second one, then they are gonna get a map pick again.
Yeah, but that's where the little guy effect kicks in, you know.
The little guy.
All right, mate. What did you think, by the way, when you saw the bracket yesterday? Did you think like, holy smokes, what is this? What did I sign up for? Or did you love seeing it?
Yeah, it was fun to see a big bracket. I mean, I knew what I signed up to, so I wasn't bothered or surprised by the length of the bracket. But I think it was very nice to see this massive of a bracket. It's fresh air in the StarCraft 2 space for sure.
Yeah, it's been a while. Eh? All right. Obviously, I didn't get to catch too many of your games yesterday for various reasons. I wanted to show some love to community members, and I always thought that there would be a moment that I could catch you later on. But at one point, I think Wardi was following your bracket, and I wanted to give Wardi some love. Everyone loves the Yona game, so I let him have the games. Talk to me. I know you dropped one map throughout the entire tournament. That was against Bulmyeolja. What happened there, Serral?
Well, the early game was very scrappy. I played a very safe opening, and then I just droned up poorly. I had actually the perfect situation there. He was doing a 2-base all-in, and I had just roaches against it. But yeah, the early game was too crap, so I just died. But it did go a bit longer after that. But obviously, it was over a bit early there.
Okay, and I heard you had a pretty crazy comeback in Game 3 against Clem. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? I've heard of it, but I didn't see anything of it.
Well, I just went for a Nidus, and he defended it quite nicely. And I don't think I was insanely far behind, to be honest, but it wasn't the best case because I was like 10 supply ahead while playing roaches and equal upgrades. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad. He did went 8 tracks after. Like I did a Nidus, then I went roaches. He did defended Nidus, went 8 tracks, and the Nidus managed to win in Marine Tank versus Roach Avatar and had like 2 infestors there.
Okay, sounds like a good time. Did you have some fun games with either Beyond, Mana, or Mindo VK? Anything that stood out that you remember?
Mindo VK had very nice builds. I appreciated the builds he used against me.
Okay, what kind of
They
builds are we
included a lot of
talking?
zealots.
Okay.
They included a lot of zealots. I think you would like them.
Yeah, the no gas, all the zealots, something along those lines?
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything, by the way, like obviously you kept an eye on the bracket since I know there was some downtime for you as well. Were you surprised by any performances of any of the players that really stood out for you? Or did you kind of feel that a lot of it played out the way you were expecting to play out with this many high-level players?
Well, it's always a bit hard to watch exactly, but I mean, Solar did lose relatively early. It was a bit of a surprise. He lost the Spirit, I think. And the Nightmare had a really good run. But I'm not sure who he exactly beat, so hard to say how good it was. Because I don't know who he beat.
Okay, he beat a couple good players like Harstem, Fighting Frog, and I think in the lower bracket he had a win over Shutdown, who's been playing very good. Another win over Harstem, and obviously a very close series with Beyond in the end. I know you were asleep at that point, but Beyond Nightmare Game 3 was quite something. Then I have a few questions from the chat for you as well, Yona, and this is something that I was actually wondering about too, because there are 2 kinds of pro gamers whenever they play in a tournament like this. There are the pro gamers who see that they play against somebody in the lower leagues and will just 3-gate robo all in them and get it over with. And then there are the pro gamers who sit back a little bit and let the actual little guy macro a little, try to do their build. And then obviously you still end up winning. So did you speedrun the first matches or did you give them some time to let them do that thing?
Well, I normally do like 2-base openings against in the first round. So I guess that counts as a little bit of speed running. But I think I did give them time to macro up a little bit. But I just do like roaches and attack. Like one tremendous supply or something.
All right. Anybody else in the chat has any questions for Serral? Hopefully I didn't miss anything that you guys wanted to ask. Somebody asked me something during the final game of Grasvan, and I can ask you that right now. Did anything change with your relationship towards Rainer? Since obviously you guys have now been on the same team for a couple of months. How is the dynamic between you guys? Is it the same or did something change a bit?
Well, I mean, I don't think it has changed yet, at least at all. But I think there's gonna be a lot of time still in this year I don't think Rainer has been at absolutely the most active right now. So maybe after he gets a bit more active again, I'm gonna be doing something together more. But now it's been very similar in the past.
All right. Somebody asked, MaxPax misplaced his Cybercore on Grasvan, and it ended up with a pretty ugly wall. Did you think about doing something crazy, like link flooding him, or is that not your thing?
No, to be honest, I don't even remember seeing him misplace it. But now that I think about it, he did have a pretty ugly wall there.
That is right. All right, one more question then, I guess, from me. How do you rate our WTL performance so far, Yona?
It's been going very smoothly and well. I think I would give it a 10 out of 10 rating because you won a map as well.
Did you watch my game live?
I did.
Were you proud of me, Yona?
I was very proud. Because that was a scary match. We could have went into the ace match or something. Then I would have lost to Goblins, Blinkstalker all in, and it was a big win.
Thank you, Yona. That means a lot to me. All right, mate. I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of the Saturday. So then I guess one absolute final question is, how does a Saturday afternoon/evening look for the great Jonas Satala after he gets another W on the board?
Well, I still have to do my weekly stream, so I might do a short one today. But if not, I'll do it tomorrow.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure that people are excited for that. All right, Yona, thank you so much for obviously participating in this tournament. I knew it was going to be late yesterday. You knew it was going to be late yesterday, but you still did it for the community and for me and for Basilisk. We were very happy to have you. Honestly, stunning performance, mate. Despite the fact that you got seed 1 with the Roddy rules, you still had a close to flawless performance, only dropping a single map in the entire tourney. Incredibly well done. Any final words before I let you go?
I guess just thanks to you and Basilisk for organizing the event. It was a fun experience as usual.
All right, Yona, thank you so much. Congrats on the W, mate. And I guess I'll see you again, not tomorrow, but the next day. When do we do the final match of the WTO?
I don't think it's tomorrow. It's a day after, I guess.
Okay, so Monday, that would be right. April.
No, it's actually tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow, 5 p.m., mate. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Do you think it's time for a little Roddy appearance?
Yeah, sure. We could put you in the first slot.
Do we bench Rainer?
You could bench me as well. I think I have earned my break.
You have earned your break, but I don't know if, as a captain, I agree with benching you. All right, Yona, thank you so much, and have a great Saturday. And obviously, congrats once more.
Thank you, and you too.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, that was Yona. I apologize that the graphic wasn't perfect. I couldn't fix it. I don't know. It's maybe something about the dimensions of his camera. It just did not quite work out the way that it normally did. But I obviously didn't want to keep him waiting. I didn't want to let you guys waiting. I thought that was fun. I really enjoyed that.